All right. Peaceful protest or LA riots all over again like 1992. All right, this video, let's just break down what is really going on down here with these LA riots, peaceful protesters, hearing both sides of the argument. Now, if you haven't been following the news at all, it just on X is probably the best place to get news. It looks like it's the number one news site right now in the world. And it's saying that one side, like the Gavin Newsom side, we know his side is not credible. Look at high-speed rail. But he's saying that the protests are peaceful and that the president, Donald Trump, is using this event to bring in overreach of government and bring in potentially martial law, invoke posse comitatus, and bring in the military over the California state without governor's approval. It's an overreach of government. That's ultimately what the governor's argument is. Now, if you notice, these events are looking to be highly calculated, highly planned, and well-funded. There's an attorney out of California that I reposted on X, and she did all the background legal research on a deep dive from where the funding was coming from. And they were getting, so these groups, there was a group that was actually getting like, I don't know, $30 million in funding from the federal government that is the one inciting this protest, this riot. Looks like what's a riot now. So it's definitely well calculated, well funded. It's not some accident. And I can guarantee you that Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom have something to do with it. Now, some of the things just to point out that are important, the ICE, which is the federal law enforcement, they're only going after people who have been convicted of crimes and have a deportation order. If you're an undocumented person in America, which I know people who are, and they're good people, this does not concern you. All right. So you have nothing to be, don't staying up at night. Oh my gosh. This is about people who have already had a deportation order, who've already been found guilty of a crime, not your regular person who's undocumented. All right. So that's part of the psyop that's going on right now, is they're trying to incite violence by getting people who are undocumented involved in this protest. Like, this isn't about them. I mean, dude, if you're not committing a crime, haven't committed a crime, and even if you're undocumented, get your paperwork going, get it done, because you can still fix it. There's ways. Find an immigration attorney. There's good immigration attorneys that can help you fix that and do it. Now, but for everybody else, there's really, anyways, that's a lot of fear. Now, it looks like that Holman is potentially going to, I don't know, maybe if Newsom doesn't cooperate, he could be potentially facing criminal arrest charges, and a lot of this stuff is part of the operation, so this is special operation for sure. This is all part of the reconstitution of government program. And a lot of it looks like it's well planned and well calculated. Now, well calculated for one side, yes, or maybe well calculated for the entire picture to see, because a lot of it's on a world stage, and it has to portray a certain thing that America's under this attack, and it's definitely a psyop. It's great entertainment though, so if you haven't already been following it, follow it, check it out. They got burning up fires. I don't think anyone's been killed, but some people have been injured. They had rocks thrown at cops. I mean, these people were throwing rocks at cops and burning up cars, ruining property. That's completely, criminal. They need to arrest these people. And, if you haven't followed Barnes on, he's on the Viva Fry show on Sunday, Attorney Barnes. He won the Wesley Snipes case a number of years ago when he was charged with tax fraud. Tax evasion. But Barnes, he absolutely ripped Cash Patel and Dan Bongino about not going after and prosecuting crime and cherry picking things. And so Barnes is like a 1776 patriot. His family's been in the U.S., I think, since before the Mayflower. Like, this guy is going so far back. He's a true blue blood patriot. And so he's got a lot of credibility. And when he's calling out Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, it's somebody I listen to. So, definitely check him out. He's on X, and he's also on that podcast that Viva Fry has. So, but yeah, he's called out Kash Patel, and Kash Patel has totally dropped the ball. One thing I did mention yesterday, it's kind of another legal issue, but it's important for America, and that is getting Tina Peters out of jail. You know, she could easily be taken out of custody by the feds right now. All Kash Patel or Dan Bongino, anybody, Bondi and that team has to do is file a motion into that case in Colorado that they're going to need Tina Peters as an exculpatory witness in federal court. Well, think about it. She has all that personal knowledge, being one of the only county recorders that released information about the election from 2020. That's grounds right there for a very key federal witness to get her out. Put her in federal custody, and then the feds and Donald Trump can pardon her if he wants. Now she's in federal custody. Do whatever they're going to release her. Because she did not, come on, dude, she needs to be taken out of there now. That is just absolutely wrong. And Ivan Rakin's done a really good job at talking about Tina Peters and getting her out. So just some commentary on that. We need to, get behind her and get her out of there. And that's an easy way to do it. I got that from Barnes brought it up, and it makes complete sense. Just to file a quick motion into that Tina Peters case and release her from custody. So follow along with the PSYOP here, entertainment purposes only, regarding what's going on between Trump and Newsom. And, Gavin Newsom is at the cream of the crop for the worst governor in the whole nation at this point. I mean, why wouldn't you want to have federal help, federal funding? Newsom makes me believe all this is all pre-planned, because his responses, arrest me, he's saying, and his response is just they look so calculated and so pre-planned that it all does it all fits right into the operation under this new reconstitution period of the operation. So, all right, check out Josh Reed on Red Pill Project. I'll do a show with him real soon as well. He really breaks this down the best. I haven't heard his perspective on this. I'm just sharing mine, but if you can learn more from him, I'll post a link to a show I did with him before. All right, that's it. Hit the ones. My name is Gavin Mehl. I'll see you at the top.